Welcome to the deep dive. Today we're plunging into one of the ocean's really captivating mysteries. This is inspired by some fascinating sources you've shared with us. We are talking about the Doomsday fish. The incredible oarfish, Regalicus glez.
Right, the oarfish. Quite something.
Yeah. I mean, picture this deep-sea giant, sometimes stretching, the length of a bus,
Yeah.
living way down there in the ocean's twilight zones, hundreds of meters below the surface.
Usually between about 200 and 1,000 meters deep, yeah.
Very elusive.
Exactly. So when these creatures actually wash up on beaches, it's more than just unusual. It makes headlines.
It really does.
And here's where it gets, really interesting. Japanese folklore connects them to earthquakes, even tsunamis, sees them as harbingers.
And what's fascinating there is how folklore sometimes, taps into something real, even if the link isn't quite scientific.
Yeah.
That doomsday fish idea is compelling for sure.
Definitely.
But our deep dive today is really about unpacking what scientists think might be going on. Why are these oarfish showing up near the shore?
Okay.
Is it simple disorientation? Maybe shifts in deep-sea currents or temperature changes? Could it be illness or maybe an injury? And then there's that persistent idea, though, like you said, not really proven, linking them to deep-sea tectonic activity.
The earthquake connection.
Yeah. So our mission here is to sort of extract the core insights, clarify what these admittedly rare appearances might truly signal about our oceans, especially, with everything else changing down there. Warming waters, acidification, pollution.
So, okay, we've got the captivating folklore side, the doomsday fish. But let's get into the science. What are the sort of practical, agreed-upon reasons these deep-sea giants might surface?
Well, absolutely. Probably the most solid scientific explanations really point towards disorientation.
Disorientation. Makes sense.
Yeah, think about it. These creatures are adapted to very stable, deep environments. If deep-sea currents suddenly change direction or maybe localized water temperatures fluctuate.
And oarfish could just get confused, become disoriented, and, drift into shallower, unfamiliar territory.
So they're basically just lost. It seems straightforward enough. But, does that fully explain all the sightings? Or could there be more going on?
That's a good question because, beyond just getting lost, research often finds that oarfish washing ashore are already, not in great shape. They're often weak or sick or have injuries. And like any animal, if it's compromised, it's going to struggle to stay in its usual deep habitat. Currents might just carry it upwards.
So the harsh reality of nature, essentially. An easier target for the currents.
Pretty much.
And okay, what about that other theory, the maybe more sensational one, linking them to seismic activity, that idea that some kind of deep sea stress before an earthquake forces them up?
Right. It is a captivating thought, isn't it? And it really underscores how much we don't know about the deep ocean.
True.
But as of now, the current science just doesn't support a direct predictive link. See an oarfish, predict an earthquake. It's not there.
Okay, so no crystal ball fish then.
Not as far as we know. What is becoming clearer, though, are the much broader environmental shifts happening down deep. And if we connect this to the bigger picture, the ocean is changing significantly.
Right, so the deep ocean isn't this static, unchanging place we might imagine. It's experiencing these fundamental shifts, chemical, physical. We hear about warming oceans, how the deep sea is absorbing so much excess heat. That must alter habitats.
Exactly. And it's not just the heat. We're also seeing ocean acidification because of all the CO2 we're putting out. That makes it harder for organisms with shells or skeletons. It literally dissolves them, disrupting whole food webs from the bottom up.
Wow. And pollution too, right? Even way down there.
Oh, absolutely. Microplastics, for instance.
Yeah.
They've now been found, believe it or not, even in organisms at the very bottom of the Mariana Trench. It's everywhere.
That's staggering. And then there's the whole ocean circulation system, the conveyor belt, the thermohaline circulation.
Yes, those massive deep ocean currents, they're crucial for moving heat and nutrients around the globe. And there's evidence they're being disrupted, too.
So, okay, bring it back to the oarfish. When we see this incredibly sensitive deep-sea creature surfacing, could its appearance actually be tied to these huge, large-scale climate shifts? Is it a kind of deep-sea canary in the coal mine?
Well, saying an oarfish stranding confirms an impending climate disaster is probably too strong.
Okay.
But they are potentially a potent indicator. They fit into a larger kind of alarming pattern we're seeing across the oceans. Think widespread coral bleaching, massive jellyfish blooms, other marine die-offs. These are all signals of oceanic
Yeah,
distress.
pieces of a bigger puzzle.
Exactly. And rising sea temperatures specifically could certainly play a role in forcing deep-sea creatures like the oarfish into unfamiliar, maybe shallower zones. It could directly influence their behavior and ultimately where they end up.
So where does this leave us? This deep dive, it really shows that while the folklore is fascinating, the science points towards something just as compelling, maybe even more concerning: these potential deep-sea disturbances. These strandings, even though they're rare, they might genuinely be a sign of broader stress in the ocean. We've touched on how climate change is hitting the depths, warming, acidification, pollution. It's reaching even these really remote creatures.
Yeah, and if you connect that to the bigger picture, the oarfish story becomes this kind of unique window into the health of the planet's largest ecosystem.
A deep-sea messenger, in a way.
Perhaps. And while science doesn't confirm they're predicting specific disasters, studying why they strand can give us vital clues about changes happening far below, changes we can't easily see. Which brings us to a question for you, the listener. If these deep-sea creatures are signaling some kind of distress, maybe reflecting these broader changes, what actions could we take? Things from reducing your own carbon footprint, perhaps, to supporting marine conservation efforts. What can be done to help monitor and protect these hidden worlds before more of their secrets just wash ashore?